Hello again from all the team here at CruiseAway, Australia's premier cruise agent, ready and waiting with exciting ideas for your next cruise and stay getaway with unbeatable prices and exclusive savings to enjoy. Welcome along to the show.
Yes, welcome, g'day. Always lovely to have your company. Now today we're showcasing the larger, braver and exciting world cruise journeys. And you're in for the biggest treat in this show. Two very different globe-trotting trips with two very different cruise lines.
Absolutely. We're bursting with excitement. Later, we'll be taking you on board the Azamara Quest to enjoy 3 back-to-back luxury world cruise journeys from Malaysia through the wonders of Southeast Asia and on to China, Japan and South Korea, enjoying exploring the regions with longer stays in port, more inclusions and a boutique cruise experience.
But first, we're taking on a half-world cruise adventure with the glamorous, charming and bright MSC Magnifica for a newly enhanced journey over 71 nights from Rome across Europe and the Atlantic to South America, the South Pacific and back here to Sydney.
Wow.
It's going to be the adventure of a lifetime as you kick off a new year with a flight on the 1st of January in 2027 from Sydney to Rome in Italy. And you can prepare for your epic cruise to come with a 2-night Rome hotel stay.
Shopping.
Wow.
Shopping.
Yes, absolutely.
New cruise, new clothes, and no better place than Italy to shop.
Yeah, now Rome has got some of the most superb boutiques in the world, for sure, and some of the most amazing sights. The Trevi Fountain, the Colosseum, to name a few. Delicious food round every turn, history, tradition. We've included your transfer to the cruise port in Civitavecchia, and we're going to be cruising on board the MSC Magnifica, part of the Musica class. You're going to be on board for, wait for it, 71 nights.
How many?
71 nights.
Oh, okay, then I think I can deal with that.
That is 2.5 or 2 and a bit months. Wow.
Well, you are seeing half the world. It does take time.
Yes, it does. This will be your home from home, and what an experience it will be. I mean, this is the lovely thing about being on board for a longer amount of time. It really does become, like I said, it's your second home away from home, and you have lots of things that you can do on a day-to-day basis. Maybe if you're a routine-based person, like walking around the deck, that might be the way you start your day, with a walk a mile around the deck, heading up to the gym. By the way, there are spa menus on board, meaning that you're going to be on board for a long time. Yes, you're on a cruise. Yes, you want to indulge. But also, if you're like, well, I just want a good balance, then don't worry, because in the dining room and in the buffet, there's lots of healthy options. It's really very varied when it comes to the cuisine on board MSC. And the spa, wonderful treatments on offer for you. From everything from Medi-Spa through to having your hair cut and coloured, nails done. You've got it all there. The MSC gym, powered by Technology Gym, which is registered trademark technology, really offers you the kind of quality gym you'd expect to pay a lot of money for back home, and it's right there on board. It's free to use it. You can also sign up for fitness classes. In fact, the spa does lots of talks. They do all kinds of different informational talks on everything from hair care through to metabolism with their experts too, which is great.
And just quickly, let me tell you that in plenty of time for your cruise next year, she's undergoing a major upgrade on board as well. So actually, what you won't see on this footage, but what will be there for your cruise, is a yacht club. Now, if you've never experienced the MSC Yacht Club before, it's amazing. So you have wonderful accommodation, you have your own butler, you have your own sun deck, your own exclusive restaurant with open dining, concierge service, and so much more. And part of the changes is an expanded spa as well. And recently I was on board a similar ship actually with MSC, and they tend to have one treatment room for every type of massage, and that is a lot of treatment rooms, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And there is going to be a new fitness centre in there as well, which is great. But you know what? She's not going to lose a sense of charm, occasion and contrast between all of the venues, be it the big theatre or the smaller lounges. They'll all have a different theme, different decors, different music playing. So this ship is full of atmosphere. You are going to love it, and you've got a lot of time to get used to it as well. 71 fabulous nights of cruising out of the port for Rome.
Yes, and first up we're into Genoa in northern Italy, a seafaring city of narrow alleys and noble palaces with Ligurian flavours. And in fact, you might want to visit the Boccadasse, a hidden fishing village with lovely pastel houses by the sea. That's an excursion you can book with the team on board. We're into Marseille next, France's oldest port, alive with the Provençal energy. You might want to sail to the Calanques, the dramatic limestone cliffs with turquoise coves on excursion. And again, something you can book very easily on board. Into Barcelona next, a city of art and incredible imagination, bustling with life and energy. And, exploring El Born, medieval district filled with tapas bars and artisan shops would be a lovely thing to do to get the feel for this. We're into Gibraltar next, which is a real crossroads actually of cultures beneath that mighty rock. Perhaps explore St Michael's Cave, which is a vast underground world of stalactites. You can see it pictured there, and you've got to see those barbarous apes up in the den for sure. They are cheeky. Casablanca's next in Morocco, and a city of incredible contrast where you'll see tradition and modern design at the same time. Perhaps take a day trip to Rabat, Morocco's serene capital, with those blue-washed alleys, that incredible architecture as you see. Then it's Mindelo in Cape Verde, a lively Atlantic outpost. You might want to visit the Bahia de Gatas, a tranquil lagoon, which is amazing for swimming. And of course, you get that subtropical climate all year round in the Cape Verde Islands. We're into Salvador and Brazil next, which is so beautiful. It's a kaleidoscope of colours and that Afro-Brazilian spirit. Now, the Lacerda elevator is a must. It takes you from the ocean up to the city. It's UNESCO World Heritage Site. Such an amazing place. Rio's next, and we have an overnight on board in Rio de Janeiro, which is the Brazilian capital. Oh, so much to do here. It's a city where the energy of the rainforests meets the ocean. And I absolutely love visiting Christ the Redeemer. You take the funicular up there and it is an unforgettable experience. And so is the Sugarloaf Mountain. We're into Buenos Aires for another overnight on board this incredible city, cosmopolitan with a deep soul and elegance. Visit San Telmo Market, where you can see the tango dancers performing in the streets, and the Recoleta Cemetery is also unforgettable. It has the grave of Eva Perón amidst other famous people there. Next up, it's time for Puerto Madryn in Argentina, which is a gateway to incredible wildlife and the rugged Patagonian landscape. Now, you've got to go and see those incredible Magellanic penguins whilst you're there. You can do a tour that will take you to see them for sure. Then it's Stanley in the Falkland Islands. We've got the Emperor penguins, which again is, when you book a tour to take you into the thick of the wildlife with experts, they will be able to show you the best chance of seeing these amazing animals in the natural habitat. We're into Ushuaia for an overnight on board. They call this the end of the world, and in fact the Tierra del Fuego National Park is a must-see. You can take the end of the world train though, which takes you through there, these arid dramatic landscapes. Now, staying overnight means you've got even more time to explore this fascinating part of the world. We're into Puerto Montt next in Chile, which is a lakeside town, but it's framed by these snow-capped volcanoes. Now, the Petrohue Falls is where I visited when I went there, and they are unbelievable. The landscapes here are beautiful, so fresh and vibrant. Then it's Santiago for another overnight on board in the beautiful Chilean capital. Also a city of such dramatic, gorgeous architecture, lots of lovely plazas, wonderful shopping and very friendly locals. You will love every minute of being in Santiago, Chile for sure. We are next up into Easter Island. What a treat to be able to see this and these amazing carved architectural sites that are thousands of years old. You can learn all about them whilst you're on tour there in Easter Island. Papeete's next in Tahiti, and it's lovely to be able to have the opportunity just to maybe relax after all of that sightseeing. You have an overnight on board, so you might want to go and see how the locals live in a traditional village, and you can book that again with the ship. He'll take you to, see the traditional sites of this part of the world. Morea's next in French Polynesia, which a great excursion to do here is to get out on the reef. They have some of the best reef in the world. So you can swim with the stingrays in shallow, crystal clear water surrounded by the lovely reef whilst you're there, as pictured. It's stunning. We're next up into Aitucate, which is the Cook Islands. It's a tiny atoll with one of the world's most beautiful lagoons, and you can in fact cruise the lagoon on a traditional vaca canoe, the carved out outrigger canoes, and learn about those too. Rarotonga and the Cook Islands next, which again, these islands are going to be all about enjoying the marine life for sure. You know, a guided hike across the islands and mountains is also something you can do here if you like to get out in the rainforest by contrast of the ocean. Bay of Islands in New Zealand awaits next, which is a subtropical haven dotted with islands and Maori heritage. So maybe visit Waitangi Treaty Grounds, where the modern New Zealand was born and the treaty was signed, to learn about the history there. Auckland's next, and the City of Sails, as it's known, alive with harbours and peaks. Maybe climb Mount Eden Crater for panoramic views across the city. That would be a great one to do. Or head on up to the tower to see 360-degree views over Auckland. Tauranga is next on the list, and this is where you can do a Lord of the Rings tour. The Hobbiton tour is a fun one to do. But you're also not too far from Rotorua, where geysers erupt and Maori culture thrives, and the Tapu Tapu land would be to visit there. Christchurch is next. Also, you can visit Rotorua from Christchurch, not too far. The crater rim views are lovely from this part of the country, and you can do a kayak safari as well to get you out on the ocean, which would be great. We're next up into Dunedin, which is a Scottish flavoured city with dramatic coastal landscapes. And in fact, you can head to the Lanark Castle and see how it gets that connection with Scotland whilst being in New Zealand, which is wonderful. And perhaps see the little penguins at Penguin Place. Now, we have some scenic cruising through the incredible Fiordland National Park, where you can sail past towering cliffs and misty waterfalls and glacier-carved valleys. This is one of the most amazing sights I think you'll ever see, Fiordland National Park. The dusty Milford Sounds await. Then it's Hobart, and we have an overnight on board, and this will enable you to get out and see some of the natural beauty in Hobart by day and night. In fact, you can do an evening tour too. Visit Mona, the Museum of Old and New Art, which has amazing exhibits, or head on up to the Russell Falls and Port Arthur whilst you're there. Now, we're cruising into Sydney. We have an overnight on board with the ship as your hotel to finish up with after your absolutely spectacular adventure. And there is nothing quite like seeing Sydney whilst actually being on the harbour at night and thinking, wow, I'm staying here. This is my hotel. Seeing the Opera House lit up and the harbour bridge. Wow, what an amazing itinerary.
Fabulous. Oh, I just went off and had a 3-course meal there. Did I miss anything? What an amazing adventure. I mean, there are just so many highlights here. Firstly, it's 71 nights of cruising, and well done for getting through all of that. This is just over 10 weeks worth of glamorous escape cruising through Europe, the Atlantic, South America, the South Pacific. There are so many overnight stays along the way as well, and there are real key highlight ports as well, like Rio de Janeiro, Buenos Aires, Ushuaia, Santiago in Chile, Tahiti, Hobart. I mean, there are just ridiculous amounts of highlights in this journey. Now, you're also going to be enjoying, as part of this offer, 10 free shore excursions along the way. You'll also have a dine and drink package to enjoy beers and house wines with lunch and dinner in the main dining room and buffet, and a 30% laundry discount over what is, it's fair to say, a long cruise. Now, what a joy. Leave in January, return in March, and the price tag, you want to see this straight away, because this is such an epic opportunity. It really is. And yeah, that's over 10 weeks of cruising. The MSC Magnifica has taken a number of world cruises, and there are fabulous ports on the itinerary and a relatively lower passenger number as well. That's really important to remember. So it's a more intimate feeling journey, meeting fascinating people from around the world, and only unpacking just the once to travel halfway around the globe. Well, it sounds good to me. We've included in your package your flight from Sydney over to Rome to enjoy a 2-night hotel stay there, and then that magnificent Magnifica cruise that you join in the port for Rome. We transfer you there as well to enjoy that. Just over 10 weeks of cruise, ultimately ending back here in Sydney. It's amazing. Here's what's included as well. Just as a reminder, it is a deposit today to get this booked. It is, I mean, it's awesome, honestly. What else could we tell you? You might want to see the show again, by the way, and you can see it on our YouTube channel, because it is worth taking in again, just that roll call of the most incredible ports across the world. So call us today on 1300 412 358. That's a toll-free number. You will have questions, and by all means ask them all. call us today and we will tell you all that you need to know. It is incredible. Oh my word. Right, you've got another one to come as well, because our next cruising experience is a real dream. This time we're on board with Azamara Cruises, and we are joining them in for their world cruise in 2027, staying for 3 world cruise sectors back to back. It's a whopping 47 nights of inclusive luxury, sailing with less than 700 guests. This is something special.
Yeah.
Now, your 7+ week trip starts on the 12th of March in 2027, and we're going to start your cruise in Singapore. So let's fly over there first, check you into a city hotel for 2 nights. So again, you can do that last minute shopping and preparing in the city. Or maybe you are suitably organised. Maybe a world cruise, you've done it before, who knows. But Singapore, nice place to chill out, hang out, enjoy a couple of nights.
Yeah, and also you've got not too far away from Sentosa Island with Universal Studios, which is a fun thing to do. But all of the big highlights, the Singapore Flyer, Gardens by the Bay, Orchard Road for the shopping, you know, it's just a wonderful place to start your adventure. Then we're going to be boarding the Azamara Quest. 3 back-to-back cruises await us, 47 nights on board, and you have got drinks, beers, wines and spirits included, your tips and gratuities, your self-service laundry, as amazing evenings, which we'll get onto as well in a moment.
There'll be multiple, actually.
There will be multiple, yes, and port shuttles in the, you know, and longer in ports, which all of these things lead to you having, you know, a much more fuss-free cruising experience alongside a much higher staff to passenger ratio, because these are much smaller ships, as you mentioned, Derek, around 700. So that is a wonderful amount, you know, just to enable you to have the maximum enjoyment in all the spaces too, never feeling you're crowded, never feeling you have to wait for anything. It is utterly wonderful, honestly.
And at the same time, Joe, I have to say, having been on board, as you can see, that it doesn't feel like a small ship at all. You don't feel that because there are less people on board that it's a tiny ship. It is not a tiny ship. It is full of surprises around every single corner. The fact is that there could be many more passengers on board. They deliberately keep the occupancy low so the quality is high. So you are never waiting for a lounger. So you are never waiting at a queue into a restaurant to, you know, because it's open seating for the dining, which is wonderful, because you never know from day to day what you fancy and when you fancy it, which is great. There are a couple of specialty dining restaurants that you can treat yourselves to on board. Very little extra to enjoy the steakhouse and the Italian. They are just sublime, let me tell you. But I think actually when you are taking what is 3 parts of a world cruise, as we're about to take you on here, it is all about nothing being any trouble.
Yeah.
It is about everything, literally reach out and it is there.
It's there. I mean, you've got all the way through your cruise, you've got coffees, assorted teas, specialty coffees, hot chocolate, all included. Your, not just the beers and wines, but your classic cocktails and soft drinks, again, that is all included with no additional fee. You know, destination experiences are included as well on certain sailings. So you've probably got here, again, the ship will, when you're in a certain port, bring the destination to you and have a big celebration on deck, you know, like a mini carnival. And then because you're here for that length of time, you'll get to enjoy the as amazing evenings that they will have multiple, which means that they will take you out for a destination experience in the ports of call, depending on the itinerary, and it's all included. So we're sailing out of Singapore, and first up, we are heading to Koh Samui in beautiful Thailand for a nice relaxing day, perhaps to enjoy beneath the palm-fringed you know, beaches, and maybe a nice massage on the beaches. It would be what you want to do, and the Thais are known for it, and you've got loads of places you can have an indulgent massage. Then we're into Bangkok. We have an overnight on board in the bustling capital, where you will be able to ride a tuk-tuk and explore left, right and centre. Maybe head to the reclining Buddha and the Grand Palace complex whilst you're there, and definitely do some shopping in the world famous markets. They are known for it in Thailand. Next up, we're into Sihanoukville in Cambodia, which is a gateway to unspoilt beaches and Cambodia's cultural treasures. Perhaps journey inland to Angkor Wat, the world's largest and most inspiring temple complex, many say. I think that would be amazing. Next up, we're into Ho Chi Minh, and you've got a double overnight on board here, which is wonderful. And this was once known as Saigon. So excursion to do here would be the Mekong Delta, where you drift past floating markets and riverside villages. Now, of course, with that extra time in port at night, you get to explore it at night, see some of the brilliant markets whilst you're there for sure. We're into Chiang Mai next, which is a port which really does lead to the ancient wonders of central Vietnam. Discover Hu's imperial city, which was once home to Nguyen empires and royal tombs. And again, you can book these excursions with the teams on board, of course. We have an overnight in Kai Lan. Now, this is actually your port for Ha Long Bay, a UNESCO World Heritage Site of towering limestone peaks. And sailing on the traditional junk boat through the emerald waters and hidden lagoons is what to do here. And at night, you get this incredible light, well, in the afternoon, which is why we stay longer in port for you. Hong Kong is next. You have an overnight on board here. And this is the start of the second cruise for you. So nice excursion would be to ride the Peak Tram for sweeping views over Victoria Peak, and then head to the lively Temple Street Market for some bartering and negotiating whilst you're there for sure. Get some great souvenirs in Hong Kong. We are next up into Taipei in Taiwan, which is a gateway really to culture and mountain scenery. You've got the Taipei 101, which gives you incredible views over the entire city. I'd highly recommend heading up there, and they have a whole exhibit. Then we're into Ishigaki Island in Japan, which is a subtropical paradise. You've got sandy shores and coral seas as well, because there's some wonderful snorkeling and diving to be had in Japan. In fact, you can snorkel Kibira Bay on excursion. Naha's next, and this is a city with Yukuyu traditions and wartime history to explore. In fact, visit the Shuri Castle, which was once the royal palace of the Okinawa Kingdom. I think that would be fascinating. The mangrove forests are lovely as well if you love nature. We have a double overnight on board in Shanghai, and you definitely need it because it's China's largest city and it blends heritage with futuristic skylines. Now, you can walk the Bund, which is the famous district, for historic views across to Pudong's towers. That's one we'd recommend. The Jade Buddha is absolutely a must-see too. Then it's Dalian in China, a coastal city with lovely seaside promenades. I love that you get the contrast of different ports in China, you know, seeing coastal but also kind of the urban with the ports on offer in this itinerary. Next up, we have an overnight in fabulous Beijing. And of course, this is going to be the place to visit, the one and only Great Wall, and you can climb up the Great Wall and again take a guided excursion to get the most of it and visit the Temple of Heaven and Forbidden City, and you can absolutely do all of that as we have an overnight in port to take you there. Then it's the start of the third cruise, and we're into Seoul. And Seoul in South Korea is a metropolis of markets, palaces, and really cutting-edge design. Of course, you know, the Koreans are at the forefront of design, so it's a fascinating city to visit. We're into Yeosu next in South Korea, a scenic port town, which, as you can see right there, you can get the most of it by taking a cable car excursion, the maritime cable car above the city, and also the ocean rail bike, as you see pictured. Next up, it's an overnight in Busan in South Korea, lively second city as it's also known, and famed for its seafood, its beaches, its beach vibe, and I think at night as well, you know, you can be there, and there's lots also happening in these ports at night, particularly when cruise ships visit, so definitely check what is on offer out there after hours. It'd be fun to do. We're next up into Fukuoka, and this is where you can taste the Hakata ramen, which is world famous. You've got to do it. Japan's richest pork broth noodles, and you can do that in a street market or take a culinary excursion tailored towards that. Next up, it's Kitayushu, and it's an industrial hub with pockets of tradition and nature. So you can head to the Kokura Castle. This is a samurai stronghold, and I think it's fascinating to learn about this part of Japan, the samurai and connections with that. We're into Hiroshima next, which is really, I think, a nice peaceful port to go to the memorial and pay your respects there as well and learn about the war history and the museum honouring the past of this part of the world. We're just starting to edge into cherry blossom season here too. Beppu's next, Japan's hot spring capital. Now, a lot of people don't realise this, but Japan's very geothermal, so you definitely want to head to the hells of Beppu. They are fascinating to learn about the sulphur flats there as well and the geysers. Next up, we're into Kochi, Kochi is a charming city with lots of great markets and also those feudal castles to visit. The Kochi Castle is the one to see there for sure. And take a guided tour to make it nice and easy for you so you don't miss a beat. We're into Kobe next for an overnight on board. Many might know this port for its connection with beef, of course, the famous beef. You can dine on the world-renowned Kobe beef with local sake as well. If you, again, book one of the excursions on board to take you out there at night, that would be a wonderful thing to do. And during the day, just see all the lovely gardens. Then it's Shimizu. This is gateway to Mount Fuji. And everything this has to offer, a coastal gem and offering you incredible mountain views. And you might want to head to Suruga Bay or out on the bay to get the best viewpoint of Mount Fuji. Now we're going to cruise into Tokyo and we have an overnight on board, plus 2 nights in a hotel, so 3 nights total to finish your adventure. Definitely head to the Shibuya crossing with the famous neon lights, where up to 3,000 people, they say, cross at once. Or you might want to head to retreat at Amiji Shrine's peaceful forest to get away from the city and see it all. But what an adventure we've just experienced.
And breathe before I have to get the oxygen tanks. Thank you. Oh my word, what a trip. What an amazing, amazing trip. You're just going to have the greatest time on board with Azamara. The fact is that this is the part of the world that, the world cruise, should I say, that makes it extra special. It's the getaway that just keeps giving. And here at CruiseAway, we have secured an exclusive cruise rate for this back-to-back-to-back journey, because remember, this is 3 cruises back-to-back, so you will have multiple as amazing evenings as well. And this is part of the World Cruise, and the World Cruise has a very, very different feel about it as well. Remember, you're sharing that experience with less than 700 people on board. So when you stop in a port, first you're there for longer, but also you're going straight into the port to enjoy it. Now listen, I'm not going to hang around with this one because this is a big luxury experience and we've waited a long time to find out what is the magic price tag. So let's do it. Remember, this includes your drinks on board, your gratuities, your high number of crew to look after you, the fabulous dining, and so much more while you enjoy 3 World Cruise sectors back to back. It's brilliant. Southeast Asia, Japan, China, and more. Multiple overnight stays, more time in those ports, shuttles into the ports, your luxury accommodation, that smaller passenger number, no waiting around, drinks are included, gratuities are included, fabulous dining, destination celebrations as amazing evenings. The list goes on and on and on, and you'll have longer to enjoy absolutely all of it. Here's everything that is included there for you. And remember, the package is your flights to Singapore to start the cruise, 2-night hotel stay there before your epic 47 nights on Azamara Quest, with drinks, your tips, port shuttles, more overnights, more time in port, self-serve laundry all the way through the cruise. You need it, it's a long one. Incredible dining, and of course the way they bring the ports to life as well. Wonderful port presentations before you arrive somewhere as well. You will love it. If you want to know more, you can read more on our website or call our team today on 1300 412 358. And it will be no surprise to you whatsoever that on this show we have run out of time, but we've seen 2 massive world cruise experiences there. But there are many more on our website, and you can talk to our team as well. Remember, it's a toll-free number, 1300 408 764. Well done, you. Thank you, you. And thank you, you, for your company. Come back and see us again soon as we cruise away.
Bye for now.